Welcome, beautiful souls. I'm Felicity from Enchanted by Soul. For those who do not know me, this is your weekly energy forecast. This will be from the 20th to the 26th of February. I hope that you guys are well. If you're interested in booking a reading with me, booking a session with me, you can click the link in my bio if you're watching via Instagram. If you're watching the replay of this live via YouTube, just check the description box below where I have the links there. And if you want to buy me a coffee, feel free to buy me a coffee. I'm just going to give this a moment to see if we have anyone be able to pop onto this live. But I hope you guys are well. I have officially started my herbal studies with the Herbal Academy, and I'm so excited that this is about freaking 3 years in the making, and it's finally happening. It's finally happening, so I'm really, really excited about that. Okay, so let's get stuck into this. Hi, Danielle. How are you going, Daniela? I'm gonna have a sip of coffee, and then I'm gonna get started. Just at the very beginning of this weekly energy forecast, I hope that you're well. Okay, I'm gonna get stuck into these messages for the collective. I don't know if you saw that water went everywhere. Now, take what resonates, leave what does not. This is a collective general reading, okay? So it cannot and will not resonate with everybody, but you might find that all of it does, some of it does, so just use your discernment, okay? So I got a couple of pre-channeling messages, by the way, which are really interesting. One of the first things that I heard was that love always wins, and that there is nothing to be afraid of, and love triumphs all. When I got this message, I started to feel this overwhelming sense of fear, of anxiety, of just, for some, it almost feels like it's been a little bit debilitating, okay? For others, there's just this constant worry or this persistent worry that's kind of like in the background here, and you're trying to move forward and push forward through that, but it's still there. One thing to remember here with this love always wins, okay, this is talking about the energy of love, okay, so not just like romantic love or how you love somebody. By all means, you know, that's part of it, but it's the energy of love. And the next one that came through was groundedness, presence, and coming back to love. This is what's going to help bring you back into the energy of being in the present and less in the fear. And one of the greatest ways to do that when I speak of groundedness is really to ground your energy, okay? And there are so many ways that you can do that, but basically grounding your energy means bringing yourself back into your body, bringing yourself back into the present moment. And you can do that through nature, you can do that through even working with certain crystals, okay? A smoky quartz is great for that, any kind of grounding crystal. But nature is just like the best for me anyway. Dancing works, yoga works. Anything that, again, brings you back into the body. This is going to help bring you back into the present, coming back to that energy of love and releasing those fears, because that is really what came through, is that there's really nothing to be afraid of. And it's not to say that your fears aren't warranted, or you should be shameful of them, or just feeling like, why can't I release this? It's just more coming through as the message of, while you have those fears, there really is nothing to be afraid of, okay? And if you're somebody who constantly watches certain shows, movies, even like the news, okay, and you find your nervous system getting really overly stimulated and activated, and you feel that fear coming in, or that anxiety, or any kind of that energy like that, take a step back, all right? If you want to watch the news, you watch the news, but I gave up watching mainstream media about like 8 years ago, and it was the best thing I ever did, okay? So if you're somebody that is constantly watching that and it's bringing a lot of anxiety for you, you're seeing a lot of it on social media, disconnect. Doesn't mean that we are disconnected from what's going on in the world, okay, or disconnected from what's going on around us, but we don't need to be in it, okay, especially when it's creating a lot of fear for us, okay? The other message that came through was every day is a chance to experience something new. And I really love this message. And with that came, to discover the new, one must explore. So going into an energy of discovery, looking around you and thinking of how, not exactly how can I experience something new, but in what way can I experience something new? Am I going to look at something different? Am I going to pick up that book I've been meaning to pick up for a while? Am I going to try a new hobby? Am I going to try a new activity? Am I going to finally go to that like community event, for example. I'm seeing like a women's circle. So if you've been thinking of joining something like that, that's like a message, like go and explore that, okay? Because it's going to bring in a new experience for you. So every day is a chance to experience something new, but to discover the new, we must explore. That's a pretty explanatory, I can't speak, message, okay? So that's what's come through in the pre-channeling. Other thing I will say is that we're in Pisces season, so happy birthday to all the Pisces out there, okay? I'm a Pisces moon, so Pisces season does really, I don't want to say like affect me, but like I really feel the energy of it. It's the last zodiac in the astrological year, okay, that we experience before we go into Aries season, which is the new year of the astrological year, okay? So Pisces season is a great way to have a look at what needs to close out, having a look at what's not working, what's not bringing you joy, what habits that maybe you still haven't quite let go of, that you just know that you need to and you feel that you need to. So having a look at that, knowing too that this week you might be a little bit emotional, and that's okay. You know, we did have the Pisces new moon yesterday. Well, it's a really beautiful new moon, very kind of that relaxing energy. For some, it might bring up those emotions that maybe are a little bit difficult to process, due to the fact that it is a water sign, okay? It's just going to depend on where you are, but just take it easy. Working with the water element will be really beneficial, especially going throughout all of Pisces season, okay? Coming back to, in regards to that there's nothing to be afraid of, it's really important to understand and remember and know that you are so good enough. Like, you are so good enough. And if you are really struggling with self-worth, I really recommend that you have a look at different healing modalities, or different ways that you can start to really improve that, and just to start to gain a higher level of self-worth, okay? And knowing that you are good enough to experience the new, to experience joy, to experience love, to experience success in whatever way that looks like for you, okay? Knowing too that like luck is on your side. There's that real Sagittarius energy, and again, Sagittarius is like explore, adventure, wanting always to discover something new. And it's quite a lucky sign, I always find, with Sagittarius. So just know it's kind of like that bow and arrow, right? When you pull back the arrow before launching forward, it's kind of like sometimes we have to come back into something, or come back into ourselves to do some shedding, to do some whatever, like healing, whatever we need to do, right? And then we are propelled forward. So sometimes we almost feel like we get dragged backwards and we're like, what the hell? I thought I was going in the right direction. It's not to say that you're not, it's just that going back, okay, or not, it's not like going back into toxic situations that do not serve you. I'm not talking about going back into a toxic relationship, things like that, but it's more like being pulled back into ourselves, and we feel like we can't quite move forward. But what's happening is we're there to shed, we're there to release, so then we can propel forward. And when we propel forward, that happens quite quickly, okay? We go quite far. All right, I'm gonna pull some cards. Oh, this is resonating with you, Daniela. I'm glad. Okay. I'm gonna grab a Moonology, and I'm gonna grab some Tarot. Okay. For the 20th to the 26th. Okay, having faith, not just in your dreams, but in yourself, okay? Having faith in the universe, but having faith in yourself, trusting yourself, knowing that you will make the right decisions for you, okay? Balance, spirituality, and practicality. This is the full moon in Pisces. So again, we have the Pisces energy here. The spirituality and practicality, right? It's like what I call like grounded spirituality, okay? Grounded spirituality. Meaning that we can connect to the cosmos, we can channel, we can get into all sorts of different, you know, modalities, theories, practices in the spiritual world. But it's important that we always remember that we're human, and we're here to have a human experience as well. And so we're allowed to experience human emotions, we're allowed to experience human things. We make mistakes because we're not perfect, and that's okay, all right? So maybe for some of you, you're just needing to find a bit more of a balance between your spiritual practices and your human life. And it's not even having them separate, you can bring them together. Okay, so just remember that also. With the full moon in Leo here, we have don't let pride get in the way. So this is like talking of your ego, okay, the human ego. Don't allow those fears to get in the way. Don't allow the ego to step in that's trying to protect you, which is why we don't like transcend the ego, right? You see a lot of that. Like, we're not here to get rid of the ego. It's there to protect us. It's there to keep us safe. But if we, and I've said this time and time again, if we allow it to be in the front seat driving and our soul's in the back, that's where we hit blocks. That's where we hit some issues. And that's why we need to have it reversed. The soul in the front and the ego in the back, okay? Both of these are full moon energies as well. So full moon's releasing, shedding, things becoming illuminated for you as well. And completion, right? Think of it too. When the moon becomes full, it's becoming to the completion of that cycle. Daniela says, I'm a Sag and a Pisces moon. I see Pisces moon as well. I love that. So yeah, a lot of energy coming through here for you. All right. And I'm going to go straight to the tarot. I think I'll close out with one of those. Okay. If you're interested in this tarot deck, it's the Modern Witch Tarot. I've used it in quite a few videos. One of my favorites. Okay. Okay, I did have the Two of Swords flip, but didn't quite come out. Okay, so it's just, again, bringing in that, showing that energy, bringing forward that energy of indecision, of feeling maybe a little bit blocked off from the heart. For some of you too, when it comes to that, love always wins and there's nothing to be afraid of. If you are, you know, stepping into a new romantic connection, or you're thinking about it, but you're feeling quite guarded, of course, don't ignore red flags, okay? And use your discernment, but don't block yourself off, okay? That's what's coming through there. All right, the King of Wands, the Ten of Cups. Love to see it. What else, please? And remember too, every day is a chance to experience something new, okay? The Lovers, just as I spoke about that. But also love energy. It also as talks about making a decision. But when I said that the everyday is a chance to experience something new, to discover the new we must explore, that's very the King of Wands energy, okay? Goes after what he wants, is not afraid to put himself out there, gets an idea and just rolls with it, goes with it, and doesn't stop. I mean, he takes breaks, don't get me wrong. I just mean, like, he doesn't stop. He doesn't stop believing in himself and believing in what he's doing. He'll course correct if he needs to. Okay, and look what we have here. Not surprised. It did come up in the reverse. You guys know that I don't read reversals normally, but unless I feel the energy of reading it in reverse, or I'm told to read it in reverse, I'm actually going to leave this one in reverse. This is what's being shed. This is what's being released. This is, the Nine of Swords is overthinking. It can represent nightmares. And again, if you're watching a lot of stuff that's bringing forward some nightmares, take a break, all right? It can talk about just not sleeping really well as well, okay? Really struggling with your sleep. And that could be because there are some fears or there are some worries as well. One thing that I find beneficial when I've got a lot going on in my life, or I've got, like, I'm really busy and I've got so much to do, I find that if I don't release that before I go to sleep, or I end up having like an awful night's sleep and I'm constantly waking up reminding myself, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. So I find it really helpful before bed to write down the list that I need to do the next day, or write down any thoughts that are coming up, any fears that are coming up, and it's like released, it's put out on paper. And then I find that sleep helps a lot more. I'm actually getting the scent of lavender right now. So lavender really helps with sleep, it helps with anxiety, it helps with stress as well. So whether you want to make like a lavender salve, okay, like a lavender balm, or you want to buy yourself a lavender spray using some lavender essential oils, just being mindful too that when you're using all of that stuff, that it is certified organic, okay? So we are nice and safe. Don't go buying your essential oils from Kmart or Target, basically is what I'm saying there. All right, the Hermit on the bottom is the underlying energy here. You might be feeling like you need to shut off from the world or take a break from social media. If you have a business, like an online business, especially kind of like similar with what I do, or just in the, whatever, an online business, right? We can sometimes feel like we've got to show up every single day, otherwise we're not going to move forward, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. if you're doing that and it feels great for you, keep doing it. But if you need a little bit of a break, and I'm talking like, you know, maybe on your weekends, you just take a step back from social media and you just do your Monday to Friday, and just having some boundaries with that, that's going to be really helpful for you. Okay. All right. I'm going to see what else comes through here. So I'm actually going to split it. Yeah. 7 of Swords. Okay. Felt like I had to split the deck. 7 of Swords, this can be the energy of self-deception, can be the energy of self-sabotage, and it can be the energy of like staying stuck in a situation that you know is not good for you, you know you need to leave, okay? That you know you need to leave. If it's a difficult situation to leave, the best thing that I can say to that is to create an exit plan, okay? Creating an exit plan. But really, I'm getting a lot of like self-sabotage from this. That's stopping this coming, that wants to come in, right? Remember, you are good enough. Luck is on your side. Luck is on your side. Shed those belief systems that aren't serving you, okay? The belief systems. Now, look, I can sit here and say, shed that, and like it's so easy. It's not easy. I've been there. It can be really difficult, especially when they're super ingrained and we've had them for a really long time. It can be really difficult to shift that. But just go through the process. And again, you can do this in many different ways with shadow work. And you can do shadow work in many different ways. You can do it yourself. You can do it with different healing modalities, different spiritual practices, even like Western therapy as well can be really beneficial. Whatever feels right for you. Okay, let me just decode here what's going on. And we'll see what comes through. Okay, you see the King of Wands here and how he's got his fist, it's like clenched. He almost looks like a little frustrated. Like, I want to take action. I want to take the lead. I want to go, and for whatever reason, maybe it's my fears that are holding me back, or maybe I feel blocked, like I'm not quite sure what decision to make, or I feel like a block in my creativity. I feel held back by something, and it's creating this frustration energy, okay? High Shadow is creating this frustration energy. And what's important for you to do right now, okay, is to release that. Hello, 7 of Swords. Hello, 9 of Swords, okay? And take some action anyway, even if it's a small step. Even if it's a small step. And again, like I spoke before about the bow and arrow, right? The pulling back, and sometimes we feel so frustrated, like, why can't I move forward? But sometimes it's because it's like we just need to reevaluate something. We need to rejig something so that then we can go forward when the time is, I wouldn't say better, but almost more like in a more of a divine time kind of way, okay? That is needed today. All right. Trust yourself in making the right decision. Trust yourself in making the right decision. Hi, Jody. When we get into the energy of the 9 of Swords, we can go into an energy of overthinking, which creates a huge block to our intuition, right? We can start to not be able to, or if we feel like we can't discern between a fear, so, you know, our ego versus our intuition. And this comes back to that first message that I got, that love always wins. There's nothing to be afraid of. Love triumphs all. And in order to, like, with that nothing is afraid of, the next message was groundedness, presence, and coming back to love. So coming back to the energy of love. This is what's going to help break this energy, break you free from this energy, okay? Allowing you to make the decision, the choice that is best for you. And it's going to allow you to bring in this 10 of Cups. And again, there's nothing to be afraid of, guys. Like this here is what you deserve. You're enough for this. You deserve this. This is emotional fulfillment. This is happy family life. This is things that are just working out. And maybe not everything's perfect, okay? The 10 of Cups doesn't mean that everything in your life is perfect, but you just feel fucking good. Even if there's some stuff going on around you, you're like, no, I feel good. I feel centered. I feel great. And I've got this going on for me, which is amazing. And this going on for me, which is amazing. And this over here, it's being a bit of a pain in the ass, but I'm not going to allow it to affect my happiness, right? Okay, the Lovers too. I did talk before about romantic relationship, okay, and not blocking off your heart, okay? You see here, it's kind of giving that energy of blocking this off. be open to authentic love coming in. Remember that you deserve it, okay? Knowing too the difference between authentic love and a trauma bond. Okay, that's something that's really important to look into. There are so many resources. I always talk about Mark Groves. He's great for that. But there's so many different resources. Have a look at Rising Woman too. That's a great one. But with the Temperance card here, again, this is a card of alchemy, a card of patience, a card of divine timing. And for some of you, there is still a little bit of patient energy that is required. I did an energy update last week, and patience was a big one that came through. But what's going on here is there's this beautiful alchemization that's happening, and the sun is beginning to rise. Okay, the flowers are blossoming. This can represent you, this can represent a project, this can represent a situation. But the more that we shed, I spoke about the shedding of the skin earlier, the more that we shed, the more that we bloom. Okay, the more that we shed, the more that we bloom. I keep hearing that. Sunflowers. Sunflowers, why am I getting sunflowers? Okay, sunflowers could be a sign for you. There could be a flower that just makes you happy, all right? Just can make you happy. I love sunflowers. I actually should go out and get a bouquet of them today, but I love them. They always make me feel so happy. So, you know, whether that's a sign for you, could even, if you feel, as I say, sunflowers that kind of connects with you, or it feels like it connects with you, have a look at the spiritual meaning, okay, online. I think there's something around sunflowers, around soulmates. But anyway, Shannon says here, just pulled the 10 of Cups today. I love that. I love that. 10 of Cups is such a beautiful card to receive. All right, such a beautiful card to receive. So look, this is bringing me back to the beginning. There is nothing to be afraid of. Step into the energy of love. Come back to the energy of love. Okay? And if you need to ground your energy, you see here how she's got 1 foot in water, 1 foot in the earth. Again, this brings back to that card that I got here with the balanced spirituality and practicality with the full moon in Pisces energy. The water element, Pisces. This is connecting to your emotions, connecting to even like the spirit world, okay? Connecting, going into that heart space and connecting outwards. But again, connecting to your emotions and making sure we stay really grounded in that process, okay? Having a beautiful balance. The Temperance card also represents balance. Making sure that we are not just balanced within our emotions, which we can't be all the time, right? Like, let's be real, we can't be all the time. But just having a look at different areas in your life that maybe you can bring some more balance to, that will alleviate some of that stress if you're feeling this energy too. Okay, anything else around this? If you're feeling a little stuck, a little stagnant, okay, with the message, with the pre-channeling, with the every day is a chance to experience something new, to discover the new, one must explore. So if you're feeling a little stuck, okay, with that, you're just feeling a little stagnant, creative block even, go and like explore more, discover something, try something new. That can be a great way to release a blockage, to release some overthinking. Just go and explore something new. It allows us to open up to new experiences, new people, new situations, and that allows for new information. It allows for clarity. It allows for movement as well. Ah, Daniela, my mum is speaking to me. Oh, that is my favorite flower. Oh, that's beautiful. I'm glad that came through, Daniela. I'm glad that came through. That's beautiful. Love how spirit works. You know what? I'm getting a lot of tingles right now. So there we go. That's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. We have Sky Father. Okay. Trusting in the unknown. Interesting. Look at this. We have the eagle here. Then on the bottom of the deck, we have literally the same image of the same eagle, right? So trusting in the unknown, seeing from a higher perspective. So with that, there is nothing to be afraid of. Trust in the unknown, trust in the uncertainty. Don't try and rush things too. That can be a bit of the King of Wands on the side of the shadow side of the King of Wands, can be wanting to rush things, like really like, I don't know, I gotta go. Yes, we can take leadership. Yes, we can take action, and we should. But we shouldn't rush things just because we feel a fear around it. If I don't move quickly on this, or if I don't secure this, then I'm not going to get it, or it's not going to work out how I want it to. And that comes from an energy of control. Very different to just taking leadership, okay? Very different energies there. So trusting in the unknown, but seeing things from a higher perspective. If you're feeling that confusion, if you're feeling the anxiety, the fear, it's bring yourself up to take that bird's eye view, to have a look at everything kind of more in the bigger picture of things. See what needs to be done, what decisions you need to make, and focus on one versus focusing on everything. Go where you feel most guided to, or where you feel like, yep, that's my priority at the moment. Do that, and that will help alleviate some of that stress. When we have a lot going on, we know we've got a lot to do, that creates a lot of stress, a lot of overthinking. And we end up like not making moves, we end up not making decisions, right? I can absolutely resonate with this right now. So I got that too. And look, medicine guardian, be open to healing information, coming back to the energy of love, right? The heart chakra, the heart portal, but coming back to the energy of love. And the healing information too, if you're feeling the overthinking, the triggered energy, or whatever's coming up for you, right? Even discomfort in certain emotions, that's information coming through of what maybe still needs to be healed, or what needs to be looked at, or just even like the looking after yourself, okay? If you're feeling overwhelmed, take some time to breathe out. You don't have to rush the process. I'm hearing, especially if it's a new romantic connection, take your time, okay? Take your time. Okay, anything else? Let's see here. Oh, okay, now's not the time for hasty decisions. Now's not the time for hasty decisions, okay? So that is the final message of this. So now is not the time of for hasty decisions. Again, that's why you see the King of Wands here. You see with the fist, it's frustrated, wants to make that decision. Like, I need to make it now. But it's difficult to make a decision when we have this energy coming through, right? So with I'm just going to bring it back to the message that I got: groundedness, presence, and coming back to love. Being grounded allows us to get back into our body, allows us to be present, and allows us to make clear decisions, to receive clear information, so we're not making hasty decisions that we might regret later, or that we go, damn it, I should have just waited a bit, okay? I shouldn't have rushed the process. I shouldn't have rushed making that decision. Okay, beautiful souls. Let me know in the comments, by the way, if you're watching the replay, if this resonates. Thank you to everyone who was able to join. I send you guys so much love. Hi, Amanda. All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon.